In this video, we're going to go through the Directory Cabinets product and utilizing that product within an order. Within the Directory Cabinets, we're going to be discussing both entering a frame, the door and the door frame, the interior of that cabinet, the lighting of that cabinet, and other options. To begin with, let's go ahead and look at Control. From within Control, if we're going to do a new estimate, within the Electric Science product category, you'll see a Directory Cabinet product. The first thing it needs is a definition of this cabinet. Now this is an informational field. You can put in your standard cabinets if you have some, or you can just type in a definition. It needs to know how many they're ordering, the depth, the height, and the width of the cabinet. Then we can work on the frame. How is it going to be constructed? Is this an extruded cabinet, or is this one you're fabricating? If you're extruding it, your options for frame will be of extruded material. If you're using a fabricated, then your options will be of your fabrication materials. And you want to check an exterior frame for horizontal and vertical. And you can also do an interior frame if there are two separate frames. The back plate that's going to go on the back of the cabinet. If there's any corner brackets. And how this is going to be constructed. Is it going to be welded, cut, sheared, pinned, bolted, etc.? Since this is extrusion, we're probably just going to bolt it together. If there are any dividers in the cabinet, how many? And any trim, both horizontal and vertical. Now once we have the frame built out, then we can go to the door. Wants to know what type of door. Is it going to be an acrylic face or a glass face door? And again, these lists can be optional. How many per piece? So is there two doors on each cabinet or just one door? And the size. The frame that's being made out of, and again you have whether it's extruded or fabricated door. So if it's an extruded, it's what are we using? And if there's multiple types of extrusion, you can use those too. Same with the top, outside, bottom, and inside frame options. And this listing, of course, will be a listing of whatever materials you're using. As far as a face material, wants to know if it's an acrylic. Since we said acrylic, it's showing us our acrylic options. If we don't have the acrylic in stock, you can choose an outsourced and then enter what that outsourced options cost you for the door. And what kind of treatment. Now we can go to the interior. These are just multiple options of how you're doing your interior because it could be different layers of things inside of the cabinet. So what's the interior backboard? There is one. How it's going to be treated. If there's any additional treatments, what kind of trim you're putting on the interior, and any vertical trim. Next we have lighting. Wants to know how we're going to light it. The orientation, is it horizontally or vertically? Any power supply, fixtures, and lamping. If there's a raceway, what kind of raceway? How's it being made? And you can go into the details of that raceway and set up that information specifically. How is it being built? How is it being assembled? The size, the material, or quantity, material, and depth, height, and length. Under the other information, if there's a header panel, what's it made of and the size, any hinges that may be attached, where are they going? So the hinges are going to be on the inside hinge, and we're going to add 3 hinges. Any hangers, locks, pulls, etc. that may be needed are also on the Others tab. Next we come to painting on the top. This is how we're going to paint this item. And again, you can choose, like the other paintings in the system, the mask, if there's any prep work that needs to be done, if there's a texture being added, the primer, and then the paint type and color, and if those need to be color matched exactly. If there's an overcoat, where it's being painted, exterior, interior, or both, and it's going to give you a painted area. Any additional add-ons and miscellaneous that you wish to add. This concludes our video on directory cabinets. If you have any further questions, please call Sirius Support or contact the Sirius Implementation Department. Thank you.